So, Lauren, Seth, this is a very personal issue, actually, for all three of us who have been involved in taking care of older family members. Lauren, I want to start with you. It was your mother who had Alzheimer's. Can you just tell me a little bit about her and about your experience?
Yeah, I can. Alzheimer's is something that has sort of unfortunately touched my life from a very young age. My grandfather had it from before I can remember, and then my grandmother had dementia. And, I watched my grandmother care for my grandfather, and then I watched my mother care for my grandmother. And she passed away when I was 18. My mom was 48. And then when I was at my college graduation, when I was only 22 and my mom was only 52, she repeated herself, telling me a story a few times, and my heart sank, and I sort of instantly knew what the future was going to hold. And then over the next 17 years, we slowly, painfully lost my mom to Alzheimer's. She was officially diagnosed when she was close to 55 years old, so not that old.
Yeah.
And At all. And my father cared for her as her primary caregiver for many years. Eventually, they lived in Florida, and eventually that was such a heavy load for him to carry that we moved them closer to us here in Los Angeles, and we were able to bring in full-time care, 24/7 care for my mom to help my dad take care of her. And once we started, getting a handle on that, we started talking about our experience, and the idea to create an organization sort of evolved and was born because we realized that our situation, while horrible, was helped tremendously by the fact that we could afford care, which is not a reality for so many people caring for their
Yeah.
loved ones,
Yeah.
whether it's with dementia or another disease, because our country unfortunately doesn't support care at the level that we need it to. And so through that experience of seeing the type of care that my mom needed and seeing the strain that it put on my dad, and the fact that bringing in professional care was the only way that made it a little bit manageable. Really, the idea was born to be advocates for caregivers, to create program to support caregivers, et cetera, et cetera.